Good afternoon, everybody. It's Lee here from Revitalise Connecting People, and welcome to the next edition of Revitalise Meets, where I get the opportunity to meet key influencers and business professionals from across the globe. And today comes without any question a fabulous day to be bridging the gap across the pond. My guest speaker today is a speaker, is an author, and a business coach. She's been helping and assisting many business connections with growing their business to success. Can you please welcome with me the one, yes, but as always, the only, Camille Diaz with us today. Camille, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me on, Lee. I really appreciate it.
You're more than welcome. It's all about this hybrid offering that we can then bridge across the pond to stateside from the UK. So it's absolutely superb to welcome you along today, Camille. Absolutely superb. Camille, can we start off as we mean to go on? Would you mind sharing with everybody who's watching and listening a bit about your business journey so far? Would that be okay?
Happy to. In my upcoming book, I explain my business journey kind of like a corn maze that was created by a drunken farmer. No plan, no structure, no even line, just going up. None of that wonderful stuff that you think about when you're thinking of the ideal business journey. I started out as a groundskeeper. Then I worked in a zoo. Then I worked in an after-school program. Then I went to another zoo. Then I did some social media and website stuff. Then I had a ballroom dance studio. And then, right? I know.
Wow.
What? And then at some point, I managed to get it together. So all of that stuff, every time I was doing something there, aside from the groundskeeping, I was teaching, training, presenting, really always working with people to help them improve themselves. And I didn't realize that all of that was leading me to what I was doing now. So it ended up being the perfect path, but it was kind of a wild path along the way. What ended up happening is once the ballroom studio closed, it was a partnership, one partner left, new partner came in, that didn't go well. It closed and I was super sad and, felt like I'd failed everything and like I'm horrible at life and all of that kind of thing. Like I'll never get past this. But people started calling me, people who I had either taught as clients or they were other business owners and had seen what I was doing. And they would call and say, hey, so sorry that happened, but would you help me with? And they wanted help with their shoe store or their vet business or their dance studio or whatever it was. And they would ask me to help them with these things. And after literally the fourth or fifth call, I realized, oh, I think this is a business. Maybe I should charge for the coaching. So that's kind of how I got into business coaching and where I sort of ended up, I guess, is that people really wanted a thinking partner. They wanted someone who was very good at systems and processes and details and organizing to help walk them through what they were trying to accomplish. So there you go.
In a nutshell, you've done the groundwork, and it's literally because you've been there, wore the t-shirt and everything else, that you're easy to give people the answers of what they're looking for when starting the business up. And I think that's so important in this day and age, to have somebody in your corner who knows the ways and the woes of how things work within business itself. So congratulations on where you began, where you are, and especially where you're going to be heading to as well with helping so many people. What's been your biggest challenge? I mean, over that time you've been helping so many people. What's been your biggest challenge that has also turned into an achievement because you flipped it the other way around? Would you mind sharing that with everybody?
Of course. So my biggest challenge was really understanding and embracing me. I did a lot of trying to do what everybody else thought I should be doing, or do what everyone else told me I was really good at, or do what they wanted and make people happy. You end up kind of miserable when you do that because you're not really doing what it is that you love to do and what you're good at. Took me years to figure out where my superpowers were. I was naturally good at teaching, so I gravitated toward things that were on teaching. But it turns out teaching kids is not my biggest strength. It's teaching business owners. But I worked in jobs where I taught kids for a long time because that's more the traditional teaching route. So I didn't realize, oh, you could teach grown-ups too. That's okay. So it was a lot of learning for me. When I was, little, I think we all get made fun of as kids, but it hit me particularly hard. I was too thin and my hair was too wild and my eyes were the wrong shape, and just everything about me people told me was wrong. So I was very much trying to fit in and not rock the boat too much and not be overly noticed, and that sort of thing. And it took me a while to realize, what, all of me is awesome and it will be a fit for somebody somewhere. So really just realizing, what, my greatest strengths are teaching and optimizing things, just getting all those systems, processes, details, figuring out what the mess, what's causing it, and then helping people solve that. And once I figured that out and started going, hey, I'm kind of awesome at this, and stopped trying to be all of the other things that other people thought might be good for me, then just smooth sailing. Well, not smooth sailing, but so much happier. How's that? I don't mind the challenges. The challenges are fun now.
It is indeed. I think it's what you're saying. It's controlling the chaos.
Yes.
It's getting the chaos under control, yes. and knowing how to deal with it. And I think that's a great testament to yourself, where a lot of people forget about looking at themselves. They're looking at everything else that's around them. We're looking at the vehicle that's around them. But the person that drives the vehicle is you. So you've got to make sure that you're tapping into what you do best. And, you touched on there, the sort of superpowers. People forget about actually identifying their talents, their skills, their expertise, and put that superpower out there. Listen, this is what I'm good at. This is what you need to speak to me about, and how I can actually help you get to the next stage. Congratulations in finding that early on and really sort of focusing on.
I wouldn't say early on.
Especially early on in business anyway, more than anything else. I think it's finding it where it is. So thank you. Yes. With everything that's been going on over the last 18 to 24 months, how have you adapted your business, especially to embrace more of a hybrid offering that we have now? It's more of an online, offline world. How have you adapted your business journey so far?
Yeah, so it was kind of interesting. I had actually been working with clients over Zoom for a couple of years before everything started to shift. And I had actually been thinking, is there a way that I can do this more and not have to spend time driving, not have to go to a restaurant and buy 12 coffees in a day, that type of thing. I got burned out on that piece. I felt like I wasn't focusing on the mission of teaching and helping people. I was more caught up in, am I going to be there on time? How far do I have to drive? What am I going to wear? These side things were a lot bigger in focus. So when things started to shift to being more hybrid, I might have been one of the only people, but I was really excited because I'm like, great, everybody else knows how to use Zoom now, so it's not a big deal. So when I ask for that, they'll just say yes, because now everybody else can do it too. It wasn't just me pushing for, hey, can we do this virtually? And they're like, why do you do that? I don't want to do that. So that was fabulous. I have started a podcast, so Money Heart, all one word, and heart is spelled HEART. And that kind of started up about 18 months ago or so, and it has really introduced me to probably hundreds of people that I would not have met otherwise, as I bring different guests in and get to know new people and get introduced to new people. We're having this conversation and we're not even on the same continent. Nope. So, this never would have happened before. So to me, this is fantastic that I have not had to fly, 12 hours to land somewhere, to, do the hotel and travel around to meet people that don't live in my state or neighborhood or, close to me, because there's a lot of cool people out there. And I just think everything is fabulous to be doing this hybrid online deal. I can be on time for a meeting. I can wear comfortable clothing. It's all kinds of stuff is fantastic about it. So I've really enjoyed it, and just really expanded my business to reach more people. Even within the States, I also have a financial company, and I've expanded that one as well because people have been introduced to me from other states. So I'm like, oh, I guess need to get a license there so that we can do business together. So it's just, I've found it to be really great. I found it to be pretty much nothing but expansion, and not really limiting at all. I think it's taken some of the barriers away.
Yeah, I think it's so interesting, and it's great hearing that, and I 100% agree with you. I think it opened up the boundaries big style. I mean, many people were traveling, of course. They were looking at time scales to get to their meetings and having their appointments and having overnight stays, and then all this other investment for fuel and time. And especially now we can speak to each other like we're talking today, like you just mentioned, that we're across the other side of the pond, the oceans, two different time zones, but we can meet together on Zoom at a reasonable time during each other's working environments. And I think especially with working in an online platform now, it has given people the chance to expand their business even further, because now it gives them an offering across the globe. And I think it's an open opportunity to everybody to embrace this even more as part of their going forward business proposition, and especially part of their marketing structure and strategy that they're putting together as well. So I think it's absolutely superb, and 100% agreement on that side. There's many people out there who are starting to do their own business. They're going through some changes in career. They've decided a business idea, and they've decided, you know what? I want to go out there and work and run my own business. Got a great idea. I'm going to put it to market. For those people out there watching and listening, what would be your golden top 3 tips for somebody wanting to start their business? What would you tell them today if you were speaking to them?
Sure. I think first thing I'd say is really know yourself. Know what you can do, know what you're willing to do, know what you're good at, and know what you're not good at. Whatever you're not good at, don't be doing that. Don't spend all your time there. Focus on the things that you're really great at doing. Know if you are the type of person that is a night owl and you're going to get all your productive stuff done after everyone else goes to bed, or if you're that early morning person that's like, I need to be up at 5 a.m. because after 12 I'm not functional. All of that kind of thing is just really knowing who you are, because when you are in your own business, you get to make up all the rules. A lot of people don't remember that. They're so used to being told what to do, told when to show up, told who to talk to today, told how the system goes. And if you don't know you, then you're really going to struggle to set boundaries with clients. They'll be calling you at midnight because they want to, and you haven't set that boundary, unless that's your office hours. If that's when you want to talk, great.
True.
But if it's not, you might want to set something up. Things like that. So it's really understanding who you are so that you can create the structure you want in your business. And that's a little bit scary for people sometimes. It's like, wait, I get to make up all the rules, like everything. And you don't just sit down and someone tells you what to do. Like, that's not a thing. You actually sit down and there's no email in your inbox unless you've spoken to people. there's nothing unless you're doing it. So you need that good foundation first. I would say second thing is question everything. When people are coming to you and they want you to advertise in their magazine, let's say, I get these all the time. Hey, you should advertise over here. Oh, this is being supported by our local chamber, and I've got this deal going, and put $2,000 in over here, and it's like, well, okay, is that going to get me a return on my investment? What people is it? How does it work? What effort do I have to put in? People will always come to you as a business owner and ask you for your time, for your energy, and for your money. So ask a lot of questions on how does this work? Is it aligned with what I want to do? All of that kind of thing. So, and if you don't understand something, as business owners, there are tons of things out there that we don't know about yet, especially when we're first starting out. You're all new. So just bother everybody with your questions and ask people who are more experienced than you or who have already achieved something you're trying to gain. How did they do it? What were the pitfalls? How do I find this information? What about this thing? Don't ever be afraid to ask questions about everything. I think we have that little, like, I'm supposed to know it all because I'm in charge here.
Yeah.
You don't, you won't, you can't. Just keep asking questions. So never be shy about that. And my third one is remember your why. Remember your reason for doing it. I know you teach on this a lot and do
Yeah.
really well at doing it, but not just the reason for, well, both. One, why did I start this business? What am I trying to accomplish? Who am I serving? What change am I making in the world?
Mm.
If you run all of your business decisions through that filter, then your business decisions will be much easier because you go, is this on track or is it not? And if it's not, you just throw it out. And if it is, okay, great, keep doing that so you know what you're doing. Also remembering the other parts of why you're doing this. Is it so you can spend more time with your family? Is it so that you can do your hobby on weekends? Is it so that you can make your own schedule and for once not have to get up early in the morning? You know, it's all of those things is remembering why you're doing it. You will have frustrating days. You will have days that you're like, this is not going to work, never going to make it, never going to. Remember why you got into this. Am I serving through my business the way I intended? And am I doing my life the way I want it to be? So if you can remember both of those, you'll be all right.
Absolutely superb. I think it's right. So remember, everybody, you got to understand who you are. So knowing who you are to start with. And second of all is actually ask questions regularly. Regular questions all the time. Keep asking questions. Be like a child. A child asks loads of questions at the beginning. Just think like a child and be asking questions all the time. And asking other people to help you and support you. I think that's a great point on that one. And thirdly is your why. Knowing what your why is, but also understanding your purpose and never forget why you set up what you're doing in the first place. So thank you so much for sharing those golden 3 top tips, Camille. Really appreciate it. Now, we talk about learnings. We talked about the top tips there and everything else. But what's been your sort of biggest learning so far? Is it either through connections that you've made? We've been talking about meeting so many people around the globe. Is it books that you're reading? Is it training? Or is it something that I like to look at every week is self-reflection? You know, what's been your biggest learnings and what would you share that with everybody?
Yeah, so I've just like everyone learned much more from my failures than I have from my successes. And I kind of think it's because we tend to analyze them more. We're like, why did that go wrong? What happened? And so we really go through it. My connections, 100% learning through all those one-to-ones that I've done, meeting people from everywhere. It changes my perspective on the rest of the world, knowing what everybody else is dealing with and where things are different from here. But the big one is we are all going through the same stuff. Every time I talk to somebody, we always have something in common. We've always dealt with similar things. I'm like, really? You did that too? What? When you're just in your little neighborhood, it kind of feels like everybody else out there is the other. They're all different. And once you expand to this wonderful hybrid model of talking to people in different countries, and you realize we're all going through the same journey, we're all having the same struggles, all business owners everywhere are frustrated with the same things, and we all need each other's help. So that has been a huge learning experience for me, and I've just loved it. As far as like books and training materials and things like that, I've gone through a sales training class that a friend of mine teaches, and I've gotten to the point where I'm the substitute teacher now. I love that class. It's been life-changing in business and personal. And then to share a book with your audience, just so that they've got something they can turn to, other than my books, of course, because I think those are pretty helpful too. But a book from someone else, it's called Extreme Ownership. It's written by a couple of Navy SEALs, Jocko Willink and Leif Babin. The concept of the book is you are the one in charge of you. So whenever something doesn't go the way you intended it to go or the way you wanted it to go, rather than pointing fingers in all different directions, well, that guy didn't do this and she forgot to do this other thing, ask yourself, what did I do or not do that created this situation that I didn't want? How could I have changed things to make sure that I got the desired result? And I read this book, it's probably been a couple years now. I actually listened to the audiobook, which was a really fun listen. The authors read the books themselves. And I said, okay, I'm going to apply this. And I feel like it's just done wonders for me, because every time I catch myself, even with my family, wanting to point the finger of, hey, you didn't take out the trash, I would go back to me and I'm like, Did I ask them to take out the trash? Did I remind them that it was time? Did I put that on the calendar? Like, I am asking myself, where did I not do something? Where did I mess up? And it changes relationships. It changes the way that I think about things. And it's changed my level of responsibility. When I think, do I want to have this result in my business, and say, okay, well, what am I doing to make that happen? Not relying on somebody else. It's all me. So what am I doing or not doing to create the result that I want?
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I like to find out more about that book, and I will download on Audible if we get the chance.
Yeah.
Other platforms are available, of course, but I would like to maybe download that and have a good listen to it. I like listening to it when I'm driving at the time, so that sounds like a great book. Don't point the finger at yourself. Don't point the finger at other people. All the way
Right.
around on that way. So thanks
Yeah.
for sharing that one with us. Really appreciate it. So with everything that's been going on over the past few years, and especially what's been happening lately as well, what's next for you, Camille? What's around the next corner? What's through the next door of opportunity for yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am currently in the editing process, which everyone who's ever written anything knows that that is the hard part of my next book, which is The Optimized Entrepreneur. It's all about how to streamline your business and regain your life so you can enjoy both your business and your life. Really great for new business owners who are just getting started. I've had some beta readers already tell me, I wish I would have had this before I started my business. But I think it's also going to be good for people who've been in it for a while and kind of hit the wall, and they're going, okay, I can't make any more money because I can't do any more hours, and I just can't do any more.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm not enjoying myself anymore. This business is going, but I'm really unhappy. So that's kind of the problem that I'm trying to solve on that one. I also love teaching workshops, and I've always kind of got something in the works for that. So workshops and PDFs that I let people get for free and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I love doing that and love helping people improve their business and their life.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. I wish you all the very best for all the future endeavors, especially with the new books coming out. I look forward to seeing where it is and get my copy as well, get it organized once it gets launched. With everybody who's been watching and listening to us today, how can they make contact with you? What's the best way to connect and start the conversation on many of the topics that you shared with us this afternoon? What's the best way of connecting with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to connect with me directly, best way to do that is through my website, CamilleDiaz.com. So it's just my name spelled out, CamilleDiaz.com.
Yeah.
If you want to kind of follow what I'm up to and hear some of my tips and tricks and all that kind of stuff, I have a Facebook group going called the Optimized Zone. So if you want to jump on Facebook, find the Optimized Zone and ask to join the group, then you'll see me live in there once or twice a week, plus everything that I post, plus all the free stuff that I give away. So that would probably be a great way if they want to kind of follow me, but they're like, I'm not ready to talk to her yet. I just want to see what she's doing. Like, that's the perfect place to go. And then, of course, the podcast is called Money Heart. So it's on social media at Money Heart Show or moneyheartshow.com.
Brilliant, absolutely superb. I highly recommend everybody's watching and listening today to reach out to Camille and connect with Camille, and especially keep an eye out for the podcast channel. I'm looking forward to being a guest with you in the coming weeks as well. So I look forward to extending the conversation even further, where it can be switched the other way around. You can ask me lots of questions then to find out about the business journey as well, Camille. So
I am looking forward to that too. It's going to be really fun.
Brilliant.
And we're going to wear our jazzy waistcoats in your.
We're going to wear jazzy waistcoats. It's going to get a bit more jazzier than this one as well, hopefully. A bit more jazzy on that day as well. So definitely keep your eyes open for that one, and highly recommend that you do connect with Camille. Camille, thanks once again for being a guest this afternoon on Revitalise Meets. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you are so welcome. And thank you for having me on. This has been a lot of fun.
No trouble at all. And thank you to you all for watching and listening to this afternoon's Revitalise Meets. Stay tuned for many more interviews coming up very soon for many connections from across the globe, from key influencers to business professionals like Camille, where we can bridge the gap and find out about their business journey. As always, for myself and Camille, take care, everybody. Keep well, stay connected, and as always, keep connecting, everybody. Take care. See you all very soon. Bye-bye for now.